In 1997, a young Leonardo DiCaprio became the face of the biggest movie in the world. Titanic wasn't just a film, it was a cultural earthquake. It broke box office records, won 11 Oscars, and made DiCaprio the heartthrob of an entire generation. But here's the twist. While millions of fans around the globe couldn't stop talking about Titanic, Leonardo DiCaprio himself never wanted to talk about it again. Why? The answer lies in a complex story of fame, frustration, and the price of becoming a global icon overnight. Today, we dive deep into the untold story of Leonardo DiCaprio's complicated relationship with Titanic, a movie that made him, but also nearly broke him. Before Titanic, Leonardo DiCaprio was already Hollywood's golden boy, but not in the way you might think. He wasn't a blockbuster star yet. He was an actor's actor. At just 19, he earned his first Oscar nomination for What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Critics praised his raw talent, and insiders predicted a long, serious career in independent and artistic films. DiCaprio wasn't interested in fame, he was obsessed with craft. But then James Cameron came calling with Titanic. The role of Jack Dawson seemed simple enough, a free-spirited young man who falls in love aboard the doomed ship. Yet the film's fate, and DiCaprio's future, would be anything but simple. When Titanic was released in December 1997, nobody could have predicted what would happen next. The film didn't just exceed, it exploded. It became the highest-grossing movie in history at the time, earning over $2 billion worldwide. Teenage girls camped outside theaters. DiCaprio's face was plastered across magazine covers, bedroom walls, and TV screens. The term Leomania was born. But for Leonardo, this wasn't a dream come true, it was a nightmare in disguise. Instead of being seen as the young actor destined for greatness, he was suddenly reduced to a teen heartthrob. Paparazzi chased him, interviewers only asked about his looks, and everywhere he went, one question haunted him. What was it like on Titanic?
DiCaprio hated the label. He didn't want to be remembered as just Jack Dawson, the dreamy young man who says, "I'm the king of the world." He wanted to be respected as a serious actor. But after Titanic, it seemed nobody cared about his earlier work. The machine of fame had taken over. For DiCaprio, the movie that launched him to superstardom had also put him in a box. In countless interviews, when reporters asked about Titanic, he would deflect, downplay, or roll his eyes. To him, the film wasn't a badge of honor, it was a shadow he couldn't escape. After Titanic, Leonardo DiCaprio made a bold choice. He walked away from the spotlight. For years, he turned down blockbuster scripts that would have cemented his status as Hollywood's romantic lead. Instead, he pursued darker, riskier projects. The Beach in 2000 was his first big post-Titanic film, and critics slammed it. Some wondered if Leo's career had peaked at 22. But DiCaprio wasn't finished. He teamed up with legendary director Martin Scorsese for Gangs of New York in 2002. Then came The Aviator, The Departed, Shutter Island, Inception. Each film was a statement. Leonardo DiCaprio wasn't just the guy from Titanic. He was one of the greatest actors of his generation. So why did DiCaprio avoid talking about Titanic for so long? The answer is layered. Part of it was resentment. The movie overshadowed everything else he worked for. Part of it was exhaustion. He was chased by paparazzi, hounded by fans, unable to live a normal life. And part of it was strategy. If he kept talking about Titanic, he would never escape the role of Jack Dawson. By refusing to dwell on it, he slowly rewrote his image, film by film, into that of a serious, Oscar-worthy actor. In 2016, nearly 2 decades after Titanic, Leonardo DiCaprio finally won the Academy Award for Best Actor with The Revenant. By then, the shadow of Jack Dawson had faded. He had proven himself not just as a teen idol, but as one of the most respected actors alive. Only then, in rare interviews, did he begin to acknowledge Titanic with fondness. Time had softened the resentment. The movie would always be part of his story, but now, it was on his terms. Titanic made Leonardo DiCaprio a global star, but it also trapped him in a role he didn't want to be defined by. His refusal to talk about it wasn't arrogance, it was survival.
Because for DiCaprio, escaping Titanic wasn't about turning his back on the past. It was about protecting his future. And in the end, that silence may have been the smartest move of his career.
So, what do you think? Did Leonardo DiCaprio make the right move by distancing himself from Titanic? Or should he have embraced the film that made him a household name? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Hollywood history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more celebrity storytelling.